So, you want to play Smite. I have two things to say to you. One, I am infuriated to no end that for whatever reason you did not do the training that was put in place. But hey, stuff happens, and jokes aside, I'm here to help you. I've compiled a guide of all the roles of Smite and what to do as said roles and some examples from not only my knowledge of playing in my time, but also my friends and their multitude of knowledge. Further ado, let's hop in with the Assassins. Assassins are one of the 3 top damage dealers in the game, and as such, they are very, very versatile in terms of what their kits have to offer. Whether you're Thor with your ability to teleport with your hammer and stun, Arachne who can literally stun enemies in place, or other characters such as Fenrir, Nemesis, a Willix, or literally any of the Assassins, they are all very diverse, as many of the characters are in Smite. However, Assassins do have quite a few cons. They are not extremely high CC for the most part, there are exceptions, and they are rather squishy, such as the other 2 damage dealers of the game. Now, with that said, they are slightly tankier than 2 classes that will be mentioned later on, the Hunters and the Mages, but this is ultimately due to the fact you have to get up close to deal damage. Now we will be moving on to the Guardians. Guardians are by far my favorite class, and they are very tanky. They are the tanks of the game. They are your support characters. These are the ones that are commonly going to be dishing out the most CC in terms of like stuns and roots and things like that. And they commonly have what we call peel, or the most peel of any character, which is the ability to get your other teammates out of danger, whether it be by knock-up, root, stun, etc. Now we're going to be talking about Hunters. Unlike Assassins, however, Hunters are high damage characters. They are way more high DPS, however, and that's their entire function. They are the DPS whores of this game. These are the guys you focus on when you want lots of crits, you want to just drop tanks. But the thing is, though, is that Hunters are exceptionally squishy, and as such, they have to play back. You cannot be rushy for the most part with most Hunters, just for the way they play. Most Hunters, like Assassins, feature an escape or some way to get out of combat in case you screw up. Now we get to the most played class in the entire game, the Mages. The Mages are, as stated, the most played class in the game, and if you've played even a little bit of Smite, they don't really need much introduction. However, I will describe their class. Mages are the burst damage of the game. They are the primary source of burst damage, and as such, they deal massive amounts of it. They have a lot. Some of them have heals. A lot of your really high-end healers like Aphrodite, Ra, and Chang'e are here, along with other characters like Hel, and they are very big, versatile class, mainly due to the fact that they're the only characters in the game that deal high amounts of magical damage, and as expected, due to this, they are huge. Now I'm going to switch to some gameplay and kind of show you how to play each role. Here you're going to see just a couple clips of me playing as different characters. I'm playing as Giannis, which is a mage, and you're going to see me actually pull off a triple kill, which in this current game mode is the highest amount you can get. The triple kill is everyone on their team, and I was actually able to get both, which I thought was pretty freaking awesome. Triple kill! Now we're moving on to the Assassins. Here I'm playing a Willix whose big deal is she can jump from jungle and deal massive amounts of damage. And she is probably one of my favorites of all time, just for the way her kit works. She's if you're going to try and run from me, I'm going to kill you. And she also has a lot of stuff where she like literally leaps over her enemies and tries to confuse them. And you can kind of see how Assassins play here. They're a bit more back. They're obviously in your face to the fact that they're majority melee. However, their entire deal is massive damage up close. Now we're looking at a Guardian here, and Guardians, like I said, your primary function for the most part is, as you see here, root your enemies, deal some damage, and you're not going to get a lot of kills, you're going to get more assists. However, you are very essential to your team because you have all the good crowd control abilities, not necessarily crowd control damage, but things to get your team out of sticky situations and to just help them overall. We actually made this team surrender. Here. Oh yeah, there's one other class. I forgot completely about them, just because nobody plays them. There's the Warriors, and I can't believe I forgot them. But yeah, they are also one of my favorite classes, and they're kind of like everybody in a sense. So once you've selected your class and you're all ready to go, you've got your class, you have an idea of what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to want to select a game mode. For starting game modes, I recommend Arena. Just to let you know, depending on the game and dependent on your level, queues can vary. The longest mine's ever taken is about a minute. So I skipped the whole queue part just because that's boring to watch, and now we're into the loading screen. The loading screen, more or less, is kind of basic in like how it performs. You're going to find yourself getting used to this very quick. You select a character, and your teams will select characters normally around the character that somebody picks. Please just don't be selfish when you do this. I like to fill or play a role that that nobody else will normally play, and I'll fill whatever is needed. So like if we need a mage, we need a guardian, we need a warrior, etc., etc. But if you can't do that, which I understand if you're new, just pick your character, and good teams will build around it. And don't be afraid, and don't let like a lack of a tank or a lack of a mage or a lack of an assassin discourage you from having fun. Because keep in mind that Smite, as long as you're not playing like ranked or anything, is for the most part just for having fun. And it is, even though it is team-based, and it is a very fun game, I will admit. Now, while we're loading in, you kind of can see at the bottom on the enemy team an ideal team loadout. You want one of everything, just about. One warrior, one guardian, one assassin, one mage, and one hunter, just to like balance out damage and tankiness. This is like the most balanced, they have the most balanced team setup you can basically get in the game. More advanced players, you'll see this like kind of disperse a bit, because Arena for the most part is a sandbox, and is really just kind of there for, or at least for me now, is to just kind of mess around and to get used to the mechanics of the game, which is why I feel personally it is the best game mode you can queue for when you're first playing the game. If you are new to this game, please play Arena. It will teach you the basics of mechanics with your abilities and stuff like that. It will teach you how to use your relics. It will teach you how minions work so you know how to farm them. And it will basically teach you how to start out on the game. I also recommend with playing with people around your level, try not to play with people that are too high level just because the whole system is screwed right now. But just know that playing with people of a higher level, it will be a lot harder for you, especially if you're new. Now you can kind of see how this game works in the beginning of a match. First things first, you're gonna want to clear your camps if you're clear your camps. Depending on your role, you'll either get the camp or not. In this case, we had I think 2 mages, and one of them wanted damage, but they weren't able to get it, so they got kind of salty and went to the lane, which is understandable. However, normally the way that camps go is blue is mana, and that's for the mage. Red is damage, and that's commonly for the assassin. Now keep in mind, these aren't set in stone, like you don't have to do this, but this is like the common one. Purple/pinkish is attack speed, and attack speed is majority, this is majority, not always, is majority for the hunters. There are other ones, such as in Conquest, there's a yellow buff, which is for assassins, and there are small XP camps in other game modes which function only to give XP. There are also mega buffs, which you don't see in this because it is Arena. However, they basically just function like, they just supercharge your stats like health regen, mana regen, etc., etc., to make it so you're a lot harder to kill overall. And for the most part, they are kind of annoying at times, to be completely honest, because they are hard to kill, but they are annoying if you're going up against them, and different ones do different things depending on the buff. As you can see, Smite for the majority of it. Oh yes, I almost completely forgot. This Arena will also teach you the basics of the, or at least the fundamentals of minion clearing. So, to be a good team, each teammate has a certain role they fulfill. I'm a guardian, so I mostly like map control and like applying stats effects to my team. Whereas, as you can see right there, there was a hunter who was there just dealing DPS to a mage. Mages primarily clear and deal burst damage, and I already kind of went over these roles previously, but you seeing them in action, and I believe just being told them, are kind of different things entirely. Now, Smite overall really focuses on teamwork. Teamwork is like the essence of this game. That's kind of like, you want to have as much teamwork and coordination as possible. That doesn't mean you can't play it alone. You can still play it alone, and I find myself playing it alone quite a bit, just because I like the game. But it is, I will admit, it is substantially better if you have a friend or two to play it with, just for the way the game works in terms of team. So there's the basic premise of how to play Smite. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe for more content. I'm going to be going over every single god in the game and how to play them once I feel that I have mastered them. So without further ado, bye.